Are you? Good to see
Good
you.
to be with you.
I was talking with your colleague Steve Israel about this, and I'm wondering, Newt Gingrich backing away from Paul Ryan's plan, but also hitting the Democrats' plan. Is he carving himself a place for independents to go?
Well, I don't agree with Newt Gingrich, excuse me, on many things, but he is absolutely right that the House Republican plan is a radical plan. Interestingly, he also said he was for the individual mandate when it came to health care reform, and of course the Affordable Care Act, the health care reform bill that we passed, is built on that notion that people need to take some responsibility for their health care. So it's interesting to watch him position himself until he comes up with a clear alternative.
So strategically, why do you think he said that?
Well, because I think he recognizes that the House Republican plan that ends the Medicare guarantee is a non-starter with the huge number of the American people.
Do you think there will be any changes to Medicare?
Well, there could be changes to Medicare. In fact, under the Affordable Care Act, which we passed last year, what we do is incentivize more doctors and hospitals to focus on the value of care rather than the volume of care. There are lots of things that will kick in over a period of time, which is one of the reasons why repealing health care reform would be such a bad idea.
But changes to actually the laws it passed. You think there will be any changes?
To the health care reform law?
Yep.
Well, no, again, the law as it passed contains lots of provisions that will kick in the next couple of years to better incentivize doctors and hospitals and patients to focus more greatly on value of care. One of the reasons Medicare gets expensive is that there are incentives for doctors, for example, not to really care what happens to the patient once they're discharged. And because if they get readmitted to the hospital, they get to bill again under Medicare. So to the extent that you can better coordinate care under Medicare, you will reduce costs and improve quality.
Let's talk about the debt ceiling, because officially we hit it today. There's a poll, though, showing 47% of people do not want lawmakers to raise the debt ceiling. What is it that, from your perspective, you think still needs to be explained?
Well, we need to understand that what this means is that the United States would default on its obligations. It means we would no longer be paying the bills, that we'd be a deadbeat nation when it comes to making sure that we meet those obligations.
So why do you think that 47%?
Well, because I understand that they see this as just sort of, lifting the limit on your credit card so that you can spend more. In fact, what this means is that we're going to be paying for our existing obligations. At the same time, it's important that we reduce the deficit, and that's why we've got these bipartisan talks going on with Vice President Biden to see if we can find some common ground. We need to come together, put together a plan sooner rather than later. That's a very serious issue.
Chris Van Hollen, good to see you. You think Donald Trump's going to run?
We'll find out a little later today, right?
Come on.
No way. No way.
No way he's running.
I don't think so. I think he got a little taste of what it would be like, and we'll say no.
Couldn't get a prediction out of Steve Israel, so thank you very much. It's good.